A Brit and an American swap countries to try each other's Starbucks. This is Food Wars Foreign Exchange. In the US, hot coffees come in 4 sizes. You can get a short coffee, which is 8 fluid ounces. You have a tall coffee, which is 12 ounces. The grande coffee here is 16 ounces. And a venti hot coffee in the US is 20 ounces. Venti meaning 20 in Italian.
And in the UK, you can get hot coffees in these sizes. Short, which is the 8 fluid ounces. Tall, 12 fluid ounces. Grande, 16 fluid ounces. Venti, 20 fluid ounces. Starbucks also offers its coffees in ice versions. In the UK, they come in sizes of tall, grande, I've been informed there was some spillage with Deliveroo, and venti. You can get a short version, but it's not officially listed on the menu. You have to specifically ask for it.
In the US, you can get iced coffees in 4 sizes. We start with the tall, which is 12 ounces. The grande is 16 ounces. The venti jumps up to 24 ounces. So you're no longer going by the Italian. And then we have this, which is the Trenta coffee. This is 31 fluid ounces of coffee. Now, if we're comparing classics, I really had to try the American version of an English breakfast tea. I need to see if you guys are doing it justice over here or if there are any notes that I can offer for you. Okay. I mean, instant reaction there. I think they might have frothed the milk, which is not something that Brits do for breakfast tea. I'm going to take the bag out of this because it's already been sat there for too long. It depends who you ask. Sometimes you shouldn't even put the milk in before the tea bag is taken out of it. I mean, honestly, that's not too bad. I was fearing worse, slightly on the milky side. I think my main notes here would just be, don't froth the milk and be quite sparing with how much milk you're putting into it. Not the worst version of an English breakfast tea I've had by a long shot.
Here's a UK English breakfast tea with milk. Now we watch to see how this compares to the US version. To be honest, I've never had an English breakfast tea at Starbucks. I'm not quite sure I've had an English breakfast tea ever. It's okay, I guess. It's kind of grown on me. Yeah, not bad. What? No, okay. He's grabbing it. There's actually a lot of differences between the food menus in both countries, but there still is some overlap. You'll, of course, find cake pops in both countries. Here is ours. Ready, everybody? Shameful. Shameful, Starbucks. Pretty close. This is good.
Here's the US version of the iconic Starbucks cake pop. This is the birthday cake flavor. That's really good. I think actually that might be slightly better than a UK cake pop. In the US and the UK, Starbucks sells sous vide egg bites. Each country has slightly different flavors. I've got 2 of the American ones here. We'll start with these ones, which I think are the classic. These are the bacon and Gruyere egg bites. I don't know if I've ever had a Starbucks egg bite before, so I'm kind of intrigued. They're not bad. I like the bacon flavor. You definitely get some Gruyere cheesiness from that. Not sure if this is the best delivery method for eggs, but... And the other version we got today are these kale and mushroom egg bites. Pretty good, not bad. I think I might actually slightly prefer these to the meat version, which for me, kind of unusual.
Egg bites. I will say right off the bat, they do not come in a box in the US. Your guys' egg bites come with the understanding that when you get to your destination or when they get to you, you cook them, or you microwave them. I guess it's cooking. Sounds like my egg bites are done. All right. Thank you, kind sir. These don't look like our egg bites. These don't taste like our egg bites at all. It tastes like microwavable eggs, actually. The egg bites in America, way better. I love them. I get them all the time. This is a disgrace. A bloody disgrace.
On the US Starbucks menu, you can also find a crispy grilled cheese on sourdough. That sounds fancy. I want to see what it's like. So the issue with bagging sandwiches like this is that they lose crispiness pretty fast because they're kind of steaming in the bag. As far as just a standard grilled cheese goes, yeah, actually pretty good. I like that. I like the bread.
Over here in the UK, they call it a 5-cheese toasty. Unclear which 5 cheese they've used. Oh, is there cheese baked on top of this? Why 1 cheese on top? I'm getting a hint of mustard of this. I like mustard, but I taste the mustard more than the cheese. For a 5-cheese sandwich, I don't taste a lot of cheese. Here's everything you can find at a Starbucks in the UK I can't get in the US.
Here are all the items you'll find at a Starbucks in the US that we don't have in the UK. Now, while I was over here, I really wanted to try an Oleato coffee from Starbucks. We might actually be able to get these in the UK, but I definitely wanted to try the US version because it does still just baffle me as a concept. For those who don't know, Starbucks Oleatos are coffees which then have a shot of olive oil added to them. The olive oil isn't like mixed in or emulsified. As far as I can tell, they literally just take like a shot and drop it into your coffee. Apparently the rumor is that the Starbucks CEO or someone higher up in Starbucks went to Italy, saw people in Italy having little shots of olive oil with their morning coffee, and thought it was such a great idea that he had to bring it to the rest of the world. So the one we've got here is an oat milk Oleato cafe latte. If you look inside, it looks kind of like an oat milk latte, but then you do just see these bits of oil just kind of floating around on top of it. Pretty much like I expected it to taste, which is like an oily latte. The olive oil, whatever olive oil they're using here in the US for this, doesn't have that strong a taste. It's more just the texture. Not great, not for me, I don't think.
UK has 3 exclusive hot drinks. I was only able to get 2. The one I did get was this, the toffee nut latte. Toffee's fine, nuts are okay, I guess. Lattes, sure. Yeah, this doesn't work for me. Also, here in the UK, you can get a caramel waffle latte. We do have it in Frappuccino form, but we don't have it in hot form, sorry. Also, you can get yourself a cortado, which looks like a little espresso shot with something special, I assume. I've been informed that it's like a tiny cappuccino where it's 50% espresso and 50% milk or cream. I actually would like that.
Next up, we've got some Starbucks exclusive hot coffee options. The first one we've tried today is this one, the Honey Almond Milk Flat White. I'm not like the biggest almond milk fan. If it's honey like in place of sugar, then I might like this. A lot of the issues that I have with Starbucks and the blended drinks that they create are more because they overdo it on the syrups and the sugars and it ends up tasting kind of artificial and horrible. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. It's very gentle. Flat whites are really popular in the UK, I will say. For some reason, that's like what a lot of people will now order by default in like a Starbucks or a Pret, for example. It's kind of like a latte, but they just changed the ratios of like coffee milk and frothed milk a little bit. Next up, we have the Cinnamon Dolce Latte. Dolce, of course, meaning sweet. Cinnamon, of course, meaning cinnamon. That's not too bad, actually. It's not like overwhelmingly sweet, which is good. I was kind of surprised. I was expecting that to be worse. It's exceeded my admittedly quite low expectations. This one I'm actually kind of excited for. This one is a pistachio latte. Pistachio is great usually. It's like kind of a gentle, nutty flavor. That's actually fairly accurately recreated the taste of pistachio. Next up, we have a sugar cookie almond milk latte. Sugar cookies aren't really a thing in the UK. I'm pretty sure I've seen them in the US before. Are they those kind of like quite pale, iced, brittle cookie things? So in terms of sweet coffees, I am bracing myself for this one. Yeah, that's bad. It's just very sugary. Also, because it's made with almond milk, I feel like you're not getting quite as much creaminess from the milk itself. So it's a little bit watery and very sweet. And for me, that's not doing the job. The last hot coffee exclusive I got today was this chestnut praline latte. I'm not really getting much chestnut or praline flavor from that. Don't love it, don't hate it. It's kind of just fine.
Here's some UK exclusive iced coffees and cold brew flavors. Starting with this one right here, the before mentioned caramel waffle frappuccino. I am never kind to frappuccinos. The whole frappuccino thing, I'm not into it. I never want a coffee milkshake ever. They're way too sweet. Every caramel drink we've had at Starbucks has made me gag because I think it's just too sweet and too gross and too syrupy. Let's see if the UK got the formula right. Nope, this is bad too. Not as sweet, I'll give it to you. It's not as sweet. Just couldn't get excited about drinking a whole one of these. Even 2 sips, I'm kind of like, ugh. And the next drink that I have here is the clotted cream fudge cold brew. Clotted cream, United Kingdom? What does that mean? One thing I will say that's remarkable about how unsweet this is, I just realized our Starbucks is going to put Harry in a grave. Here's what I like about this. If I was to get a fudge or chocolatey flavored cold brew, I'd prefer yours to ours because this tastes more like a cold brew. I've just been informed that the fudge was maybe made with clotted cream, and that doesn't help.
And of course, being America, here we have a bunch of iced coffee options. For something pistachio flavored, I would expect some green color in there, but very much just looks like a cold brew coffee. Pretty similar, just not a lot of pistachio flavor, just quite gentle, but not bad. I'm not sure I love the texture of the cream on top of the cold brew. Next up, we have the cinnamon caramel cream cold brew. All of these drink names just sound like tongue twisters. There are just so many words and they all kind of sound similar. Something about the cinnamon flavoring or syrup that they're using in Starbucks just doesn't taste quite like cinnamon should. This one is a vanilla sweet cream cold brew. On the surface, I can get on board with this one. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Gentle vanilla flavor. Here is the iced brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso. I'm getting weirdly, similarly cinnamony flavors from this one and that one. Here we have the iced honey almond milk flat white. I didn't hate the honey coffee from before. See how it holds up in iced form. Oh. It might be something to do with iced almond milk, but the texture and the flavor of that is way off. Then we have an iced cinnamon dolce latte. I think I get more cinnamon from that than I do from the cinnamon cold brew, for example. It's not too bad, actually. That's all right. I think my main takeaway from these so far is that I'm not a big fan of like cold milk alternatives. I think if I'm getting an iced coffee, I need actual milk in there. The texture is slightly off with the almond milk, for example. And I think the flavors just kind of get carried better by actual milk. Sticking with the cold coffee theme, we have a few Frappuccino options in the US that you won't find in the UK. I got 3 of them here today, including the Mocha Cookie Crumble Frappuccino. This one looks pretty appealing. It's got like actual crumbles of cookie stuff on top. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. It doesn't taste of coffee at all to me. This is kind of just like a Oreo milkshake masquerading as a coffee, I think. Next up, we have the Caramel Ribbon Crunch Frappuccino. Not too bad. You definitely get a caramel flavor from it. The last one I got today was the Pistachio Frappuccino. Again, I think it's something to do with this in the iced form. It doesn't seem to hold up well when iced for some reason. It's like the pistachio flavor has been like hijacked by the sugar in there, and neither flavor is coming out of that well. I know you guys love iced coffees in the US. I've got to say, from these ones, I've been disappointed. I'm not getting really any coffee flavor from almost any of these. And I think just in general, when you ice a coffee like this, you add so much ice to it. As soon as it starts to melt, any flavor that was in there just gets really diluted. The texture kind of goes as well. So yeah, I mean, from what I've had today, kind of underwhelmed by your iced coffee options in the US.
Ah, yes, tea. United Kingdom. Tea is very popular here. I am not a big fan of tea. We also have these iced teas. 2 exclusive to the UK are the lemon iced tea and the peach iced tea. One thing I've noticed about iced tea in the US, not all iced tea, but usually our iced tea is also very sweet. I don't know if that is the case here in the UK, and we'll find out together. First one we got here, mix it up, is the peach iced tea. Not sweet and not good. Ugh, no. Oh boy, and we're going into the lemon one now. I can only imagine what this is going to taste like, so. Okay, I was expecting that to be a lot worse. It's just okay. You know, you go to a restaurant and you get water and there's like a lemon wedge in it. That's closer to what this tastes like.
Next up, we're onto the teas, which obviously I feel very passionate about as a Brit. At Starbucks in the US, you can get a range of hot and iced teas. We'll start with the hot teas down this end. Firstly, we have something that seems to be kind of a hybrid between a tea and a coffee. This is a London Fog tea latte. I don't know what a London Fog is. This is not a British thing. Joe, can you please explain?
So, watching the first season of The Crown,
there was this fog that rolled in and actually was like smog or something because of, is it like the first, not the first, but major environmental disaster, I guess, in City because of all the coal and stuff you guys are using, the Industrial Revolution. Yeah, so you heard that's in the London Fog, right? Like killed a bunch of people, made sure what they wrote down. I did that. I did in The Crown, I don't know how actually accurate.
What's in it?
tea. And milk because it's a latte.
Okay, it's Earl Grey tea, basically.
Earl Grey tea. Grey fog?
Sure, yeah. As far as I can tell, this is kind of just like an Earl Grey tea with milk. I think maybe the milk has been steamed again. Is that like another fog reference? Next up, we have a honey citrus mint tea. That sounds okay, but there's just like a lot going on. I'm either used to having a mint tea, or like tea with honey, or maybe a citrus tea. They just combine all of them into one because Americans love flavors. I don't mind that. I like that they've just put 2 tea bags in the same cup. You can see here they put the jade citrus mint tea in there, but then they've also just put a peach tea in there as well, which I guess is supposed to be that kind of like honey sweetness. I don't get a lot of the citrus. I think the mint is kind of overpowering the citrus, so you end up with kind of just like a minty, peachy tea. Then beyond the hot drinks, we have some iced teas in the US. Here we have an iced black tea. Yeah, again, that is just water. Look how clear that is. It shouldn't be that clear. Next up, we have an iced black tea lemonade. Even that doesn't have a ton of flavor. Like, I'm not getting much lemon from that at all. This one upsets me. I don't know what's going on here. This is an iced Royal English breakfast tea latte. This looks just like a cup of milk. I don't even know if I want to try this, but I'm going to have to for science. When Americans confidently state that tea is gross and that they don't drink it, I think it's because they're basing it on this. That's terrible. Like, what even is this? There's so much more you can do with tea, and you're really wasting the opportunity. On behalf of all Brits, like, stop doing this. It's just such a waste. We also have an iced London fog tea latte, which I will take a small sip of because, yeah, again, it's just a very watery, very milky, and very sweet Earl Grey tea, effectively. And then finally, for the cold beverages, Starbucks in the US offers a few exclusive customizations and flavors of the refreshers. I've got 3 of them here today. The first one is a pineapple passion fruit refresher. So it does taste very pineapple-y. That's refreshing. Does what it's in the tin. Lives up to the name refresher. Next up, we have a strawberry acai refresher. Also not bad. And then the last one I got today was a mango dragon fruit refresher. That's nice. That might have the most gentle flavor of these ones, but I think that's kind of what I want from like a refresher drink.
Everything on the food! The breakfast menu in both countries is a pretty different. Starting with the savory stuff here in the United Kingdom. Down here, signature breakfast sandwich. What the hell? Ah! The signature breakfast sandwich? What? First of all, what kind of bun is this? Brioche? No. What is this? Pretzel bun breakfast sandwich. Already, this country is upside down. You're sad bacon. Oh, I called it ham a second ago because it looks like ham. Oh no. I love pretzels. I love pretzels. I love a pretzel bun on a burger or sandwich. In the morning and on this, no. Beyond Meat breakfast sandwich, plant-based meat. The Beyond Meat is actually flavored well. Has a bit of a, almost like sausagey taste to it. Moving on, egg bites. I'm not heating these up, but we got them. Red pepper and spinach. Traditional sausage sandwich. Here's what I love about this country. This keeps coming up. You people love your sausages so much. You're constantly making things like this, where you take a very specific shape of a sausage and try and cram it into different shaped bread? Why? What is this? It's a sausage and bread. Your sausage, I can't place my finger on it. It just tastes different over here. Smoked bacon roll. Your bacon is so weak. It's so weird and flimsy. It smells weird. How did you manage to get the flavor out of bacon? How did you pull it off? You guys have no problem putting a skimpy amount of meat in a way too thick roll.
We'll start with the breakfast menu. Apparently, Starbucks recently added a chicken option to its breakfast menu, which has got people very excited. Here it is. This is the chicken, maple butter, and egg sandwich. When I saw chicken, I thought maybe it would be more of like a actual chicken breast, but it's kind of like a big nugget. Fried chicken and maple with egg, not a combination that I think you'll find very commonly in the UK. I don't mind that as a flavor combination. The texture of the chicken isn't very good. When it's in a sandwich with the other ingredients, the breading on the chicken has gone a bit soggy. There is a wrap option on the US breakfast menu. This contains bacon, sausage, and egg. The sausage in the US tends to be more like sausage meat, kind of like ground up. So you get these small pieces rather than like sausages running through it, like is probably more common in the UK. I can't tell if there's actually any bacon in here because I'm not really seeing or tasting any. But the sausage is good. The eggs are good. Scrambled eggs have a great texture to them. Next up, we have a bacon, Gouda, and egg sandwich. It's quite dense. The roll is good, but it's like quite chewy. The US has an Impossible breakfast sandwich. I don't know if I've really had much Impossible meat before. Yeah, I'm really impressed by that. I would honestly think if you handed me this and told me it was sausage, I don't think I would correct you. This is the turkey bacon, egg white, and cheddar sandwich. It's okay. The US Starbucks also has 2 bagel options. I know Americans love their bagels, so I'm excited to see how Starbucks have done. You can either get a plain bagel with cream cheese, or you can get an everything bagel with cream cheese. Everything refers to the way that they just kind of combine all of the most popular American bagel toppings. So you get things like poppy seeds, sesame seeds, salt, and garlic. I'll try a bit of everything bagel with a bit of their cream cheese. Get a little schmear going. It's not the best bagel I've had. They're just a little bit bland, I think, for my liking, really. Cream cheese is fine, just pretty standard cream cheese.
Here are the UK sweet options I can't get in the US, starting with this in front of me. Peach and raspberry overnight oats, and in parentheses, it says plant-based. Yeah, okay. Not bad. I mean, I don't have an American palate, so every time I'm about to bite into something that's fruity, I'm expecting it to be also very sweet. But actually, I would probably lean more towards this in the morning because I really don't like sweets in the morning. Let's go down over on this side. Caramel shortbread. Another cake pop, caramelized. So I'm assuming it's caramel. Caramelized Biscoff. Ooh, very caramelly. Yeah, Biscoff's all right, I guess. Ooh, what do we got here? Cookies and cream brownie bite. You just get one? Fine. Red velvet cake, so it's chocolate and cream cheese. I closed my eyes and thought of chocolate, and I was like, that's exactly what chocolate tastes like. Oh my God. Luxury fruit toast. Ugh. Yeah, that sucks. I don't like that at all. There's a few holiday selections over here. Christmas tree brownie. I know what a brownie tastes like, but fun little Christmas tree design. Chocolate twist. You get the little chocolate chips. I like that. Banana caramel muffin. Supposed to be all right, but banana and caramel never going that well together, I don't think. Lemon and poppy seed muffin. That's really good. Lemon flavor with the poppy seeds. But does poppy have like a specific flavor? Oh, cinnamon scroll. Why is it square? I know that seems like a moot point. Why is it square?
Just like they do in the UK, Starbucks has quite a big bakery section in the US. We'll start with another cake pop. This one is a peppermint brownie cake pop. It looks like it's covered in broken glass, so I'm going to hope that that's not the case. Again, that really chewy texture, which I really quite like, actually. Thankfully, the outside bits are not broken glass. I think they're actually like crushed up mints, which is where I'm getting most of the mint flavor from. That's a pretty good cake pop. I like it. Next up, we have a marshmallow dream bar. So simple, so toasty. Next up, we have a slice of banana, walnut, and pecan loaf. That's really good. It's good banana bread. It's got that real moist texture to it. A little bit of crunch from the nuts on the outside. Yeah, big fan. Thumbs up. This one I'm interested in. This is a blueberry scone. I'm intrigued to see how Americans approach a scone. Obviously, the shape is slightly different to what you'd expect in the UK from a scone. Ours tend to be circular or more circular, whereas this one is kind of a triangle shape. It's okay. It's quite dry. I think maybe this with some cream cheese could work, actually, like a blueberry cream cheese thing, because right now it is dry, as scones tend to be, but in a kind of bready way that I'm not used to. The final baked good we have here today is this cheese Danish. It's very flat. Yeah, not bad. The texture and flavor I get from the pastry is kind of like those cheap supermarket croissants that you get.
All right, exclusive hot sandwichy guys. This is the oak smoked ham and cheese toasty. So if you want your ham and cheese to taste like it just came from a forest fire, this is your sandwich. Chipotle chili, tater tot bites. Unforgivable. Tuna melts panini. Bro, it's got corn in it. And even though I hate this, there's like no tuna in this. Moving on. Tomato and mozzarella panini. I would say this was skimping on the ingredients. For saying, what's this, mozzarella in it, right? I don't see cheese anywhere in here, really. I would return that. I'd be like, you guys forgot to put the stuff in my sandwich. I'm wondering, why is the chicken Caesar wrap packaged like this? Oh, these are. Gotcha. I mean, you know. Chicken sandwich. Red Leicester? Leicester? No, that's not right. Cheese and pickle? Nope. Harry's gonna explain something to me.
A ploughman's lunch is pretty commonly eaten here in the UK. Generally, it will be like a platter and will include things like cheese, pickle, which is what you're about to eat, not pickles. It's very key distinction there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a condiment, almost like a relish of some kind. And then other things as well, you'll usually find like maybe a pickled onion on the plate, some bread, just random bits like that you'd eat, and then you'd go off to plough your fields.
And then this is the sandwich version of that.
That's the sandwich version, effectively, of a ploughman's. It's a cheese and pickle.
So the pickle isn't American pickles. This is like relish. We call relish, even though our relish is greener. Thanks, bye. This does not taste like relish. I'm very confused on what it is. It isn't bad. It's just it's strange to me. So I'd like to learn more about this.
There are lots of lunch options from US Starbucks, and the one we got today is this one, the ham and Swiss on a baguette.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's some hard work. Yeah, whatever bread they're using there is extremely chewy. Flavors are pretty good. I like the ham flavor. A little bit of flavor from the Swiss. Overall, I don't know how impressed I am with the US Starbucks. I think the basic things we actually might be doing slightly better in the UK. Even the coffee was just kind of like a little bit burned and bitter tasting over here. I think in the UK, you're generally getting a more reasonable portion, and the actual coffee itself might be slightly better quality. If there's one thing the US is doing better, I'd say I was pretty impressed by the bakery section. I think pretty much all the baked goods I tried were great. Even just things like the cake pop had like a really satisfying texture and flavor to them. I really like that banana walnut loaf. I thought that was great as well. Honestly, I just wasn't really impressed by any of the drinks you guys have over here. I thought the iced beverages were just all a bit weird tasting and ended up just being very watery. I think the hot beverages, some of the flavors just needed like a real rebalancing there because they were either way too strong or not strong enough. If I had to pick something to take back with me to the UK, I'm kind of split between a couple of options. There were some good things, particularly more on the food side of the menu. I thought the Impossible Sandwich was actually really good. They really did replicate the texture and the flavor of the sausage patty. So I'd kind of like that in the UK as like a non-meat option that actually tastes really good and close to meat. I really like the cake pops. It seems like a really basic thing, but just in terms of the taste and the texture, way better here than they are in the UK. If I had to choose one thing to cut from the US menu, actually quite a tricky decision because there were several things that I thought were just bad. One thing might be the Trenta iced coffee, because I think that's just an absurd amount of coffee. It's excessive. That cannot be good for anyone's health. You guys really aren't doing tea very well in the US. I thought the breakfast tea with milk was actually kind of fine, but all of those iced tea options were really, really bad. Despite all of that, I think the item that I'm actually going to cut from the US menu, given the chance, would probably be the iced London Fog latte. Just to reiterate, London Fog is not something that anyone from London knows of or drinks. So that's really bad to begin with. Also, just something about the ice, again, diluting it. It just ended up being like the worst cup of Earl Grey tea you've ever had, and then you've just added a bunch of ice to it. So honestly, just appalling. If you're gonna keep that on the menu, just take London out of the name. Stop dragging us through the mud to have your disgusting, disgusting tea drinks.
As you can see, it pretty much was a lot like what a Starbucks in the US is like, so kudos to Starbucks to having pretty good consistency. What would I keep? I liked the clotted cream fudge cold brew. It wasn't too sweet. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by that drink. And if I wanted something healthy, maybe the peach and raspberry overnight oats. This is nice. Yeah, I can get into that. What would I cut? Well, I know I did not like the tuna panini. I mean, I'm not a big tuna guy anyway, but ugh. It just smelled horrible, rough. No thanks. And that traditional sausage sandwich is just sausage and bread. There's nothing to it. I know other fast food menus have just a sausage and bread sandwich, but Starbucks, you don't got to do that. Not a fan of that either, so those can stay in the UK.
Joe informs me that the average bladder can contain around 400 to 500 milliliters of urine, which is around half of a Trenta. So if you take this, you will be visiting the bathroom probably at least twice.